If you make a sexual comment at the wrong time, you might get slapped. But in context, at the right moment, turning the conversation sexual can get her to start thinking about sex, get her in the mood, and show her that you are a sexual guy comfortable in his sexuality. Therefore, making her a little bit more inclined to have some fun with you sooner rather than later. So, you need to know how to turn things sexual. But how do you talk about sex and sexual topics without seeming creepy? Do you like sex? My name is Matt Artisan from The Attractive Man, and this is 7 ways to turn the conversation sexual. I'm Matt.
He has mastered the art of seduction.
Many boot camps encourage men to be assertive.
A woman wants to be turned on. We've done all the testing, and we know what works. A lot of guys lose the girl because they don't know how to go from a normal getting to know each other kind of vibe to a more sexual, I want to rip your clothes off interaction. And the girl could lose interest at some point if you don't know how to turn things sexual, because she usually won't do it for you.
Yes, you can take me back to your place now.
And if she does turn the conversation sexual before you do, it's probably because she's just tired of waiting for you to man up and, you know, talk about something a little bit more interesting than your grandma's birthday and, you know, walking your cat. So here are my 7 ways to turn the conversation sexual. Make sure to watch the whole video because number 1 is by far my favorite. Number 7 is direct, which is basically just telling her exactly what you want to do to her right now or in the near future. You know, if there weren't all these people here, I would definitely throw you up against that wall and have my way with you. Or you might say, you know, I have way too many naughty thoughts running through my head right now. Direct sexual escalation usually happens a little bit later in the interaction, either kind of, you know, near the point where you're about to kiss her or maybe after you've already kissed her. As a side note, it's great to accuse her of turning you on. Like it's her fault that you're sexually escalating on her. Basically just blame her for your sexual advances, such as, stop being so cute, okay? Or I'm gonna be forced to kiss you. Or maybe you say, if you look at me like that again, I'm gonna be forced to kiss you. And then of course, actually kiss her. There, you did it again. Number 6 is indirect. Basically just telling her something that somebody else said or did. She can't really get mad at you or, you know, think you're like way too sexual too fast because it's not your experience, it's somebody else's. So my friend went to a swingers party last night, like a sex party. Would you ever do anything like that? Or maybe it's a movie, it's like a scene out of a movie. Or maybe it's something you heard on the radio. The radio, who listens to the radio these days? So I was listening to Howard Stern the other day and he was interviewing all these women from like 18 all the way to 65. Asking them, given the right person and the right situation, would you basically hook up with that guy and sleep with that guy within 5 minutes of meeting them? By the way, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed, and click on that bell notification icon because it'll let you know every time we come out with a new video. Number 5, sexual innuendos. This is a form of indirectness that takes something seemingly innocent and gives it a sexual double meaning.
Well, you might be a cunning linguist, but I'm a master debater.
But it needs to be under the radar. For example, if she says she's baking a cake, don't tell her that you want to eat cake off her naked body. That's not a sexual innuendo, that's just really sexual and really direct. Or maybe you say something like, then I guess if I'm lucky, I'll get to have my cake and eat it too. Number 4 is role plays. Role plays are great because you can kind of get away with anything, you know, you can be really sexual because it's not real, it's a fantasy. My favorite role plays are boyfriend-girlfriend role plays or over-the-top romance, like you're, you know, overly chivalrous. Or breaking up with her is a good one, you know, kind of being a dick, break up with her and have sex with her sister. Cops and robbers, you know, robbing a bank, she's your bodyguard. My personal favorite is marriage role play. When 2 people get married, they kiss. So you can find your friend in the bar, your wingman, and pretend that he's an ordained minister and have him marry the girl that you just approached. And it's like this fake fantasy wedding, yay! It's really fun though. But girls love that and it plays into their whole fantasy of getting married. Plus, then you gotta consummate the wedding. Okay, we're so getting married. But listen, only sex 8 times a day, no more than that. I'm not a piece of meat. I mean, I'm the trophy husband and all, but you gotta be good. Number 3 is sexual questions. These can be anything like, what's your favorite position? Where's the craziest place you've ever had sex? Have you ever had a one-night stand? Or would you ever have a one-night stand, like tonight? What's your biggest turn on? Do you like your hair pulled or your ass smacked, etc.? When was the last time you had sex? Right? You can get pretty graphic and pretty intense in this, but it has to be in context. If it's out of context, it's gonna be really weird. If she's talking about her dead grandma's birthday is tomorrow, don't ask her what's her favorite position. It just doesn't make sense. The best way to do it, especially if you're on a date, is using the question game. Now, I'm not gonna explain how to do that here, but it's freaking awesome. You should be using this on every single date you go on, because it's great. You get to know the girl really quickly, build a lot of rapport, and turn things sexual very quickly. And I have a whole video on it about basically how to not run out of things to say on a date using the question game. And there's a link down in the description, and hopefully there's a link on the screen somewhere, and you can click that. Check out that video. Number 2, games. Just like role plays, they're not real, so you can get away with a lot more. You know, she's not gonna get mad if you say something sexual if it's part of the game, like it fits in the context of the game. My favorite games are Shag, Marry, Kill. I'm gonna pick 3 guys. One of them you have to fuck, one of them you have to marry, one of them you have to kill. 2 truths and a lie. I'm gonna tell you 2 things that are true and 1 that's a lie, and you have to guess the lie. My band toured with Linkin Park. I lost my virginity when I was 22, and I'm an international dating coach. The question game. So we're gonna ask each other questions back and forth, and you have to tell the truth. And there's 3 rules. Rule number 1 is the questions have to be good. Rule number 2 is no repeat questions. And rule number 3 is you go first. Truth or dare, which of course has to be played with more than 2 people. It needs to be a group of people. 2 people, it's just kind of lame. Hey, I dare you to kiss me. Or my personal favorite, Bumps and Grinds, which is a classic 70s board game that involves stripping and taking shots. And again, it's best to play that in a group. And finally, number 1, role reversals. The common stereotype is that men are more sexual and they're the sexually aggressive one in the relationship, and women are more passive. You know, they don't usually sexually escalate. At least not as much. So you just switch the roles and accuse her of being the overly sexual one or the sexually aggressive one. And women love this because it's a really fun way to flirt, and I think deep down women are really sexual and they kind of want to make the move sometimes. So this, you know, society kind of tells them not to be that because it's slutty. So this gives them context and permission where, you know, it's okay to do that. Did you just look down at my package? Eyes up here, young lady. Stop undressing me with your eyes. You're so bad. You just want me for my body, huh? You're so bad. I'm not going home with you that easily. When you start turning the conversation more sexual, I want you to start noticing how women are reacting, and you'll probably notice that women love talking about sexual things. It might surprise you. And you'll probably also notice that when you start turning the conversation sexual more often or quicker, that things escalate a whole lot faster. Now, if you want to learn how to turn things sexual even better, even faster, and you know, to a whole new level, there's an even better method in the next YouTube video where one of our top instructors, Josiah, teaches you a method that he uses on pretty much all of his dates to take things to a whole new sexual level and get her thinking that he's like this sexual superstar. If you do this method that he's about to show you, it's like almost guaranteed that things are gonna, you know, escalate. So check out that YouTube video right now. There's a link down in the description, and there's also a link to the right of this screen. And make sure to subscribe to this channel for more tips on how to meet and date beautiful women. And if you want live training on how to approach women, then make sure to check out our bootcamp schedule or get a free consultation. My name's Matt Artisan from The Attractive Man, and I'll see you in the next video.